feel fairly confident about 6 years from now. So the Mars, Earth-Mars synchronization occurs roughly every 26 months. So we had one this year, this summer, and so that means in roughly like about 2 years there'll be another one, and then 2 years after that. So I'd say if you say 6 years from now, I think highly confident. If we get lucky, maybe 4 years, and then we want to try to send an uncrewed vehicle there in 2 years. I'm mostly concerned with developing the technology that can enable a lot of people to go to Mars and make life multiplanetary, have a base on the moon, a city on Mars, and I think it's important that we strive to have a self-sustaining city on Mars as soon as possible. I mean, I'm optimistic about the future on Earth, but it's important to have life insurance for life as a whole. We want to have a future that is inspiring and exciting. And what are the things that you find inspiring and exciting about the future? And I think a future where we are a spacefaring civilization and out there among the stars, I think every kid gets excited about that. You don't even need to teach them. It's very important for us to have reasons to be excited about life. Like when you wake up in the morning, it can't just be about problems. It's okay. I know everyone in this room deals with a lot of tough problems, but you know it's got to be more than that. Hey, even if it's not you, there's going to be people out there. We can have a base on the moon. We're going to have a city on Mars. Maybe go further, moons of Jupiter and everything. I think that's a very exciting future. If you're going to die someday, I'm like, okay. You want to be buried on Mars or Earth? I'm like, Mars sounds cool. Born on Earth, die on Mars. That's, if you got the choice. Basically, Tesla is about trying to make sure things are good for the future on Earth, and then SpaceX is about a good future beyond Earth, basically. And so, obviously, we have to have sustainable energy, both consumption and production of energy. So, like Tesla does solar panels and batteries. I think that's one of the key ways to have sustainable energy generation, and also the batteries are useful for wind power. So, and then you need to consume it consume the electricity, so electric vehicles. I think I look at these things like say, okay, if you look back from the future and say, what's the fundamental good of Tesla? I would say it's probably should be assessed as by how many years did Tesla accelerate the advent of sustainable energy? I would measure the goodness of Tesla in that way. And then for SpaceX, it's like, okay, to what degree did we improve the probability of humanity being a spacefaring civilization? I mean, what am I supposed to do?
Have you ever considered to buy?
The stock is too high a long time, like when it was like at $800 pre-split. And they didn't listen to me, but I tell you, and the SEC complained again. I mean, we're definitely not going to launch a hostile takeover. So I suppose if there was someone...
But a friendly one.
If somebody said, hey, we think it would be a good idea to merge with Tesla, we'd certainly have that conversation. But we don't want to be a hostile takeover sort of situation. Honestly, I was in so many panels, but they generally the sentiment that was expressed that you mentioned earlier, that was pretty much universal. I'm not against people driving, to be clear. So I think people will drive cars basically as far into the future as I can imagine. It's just that it's going to be increasingly unusual to drive your own car. It's not fun to drive a car in terrible gridlock traffic. Like, going through extreme traffic, that's no fun driving a car. I think 10 years from now, almost all cars will have full autonomy capability. All new cars produced. There's about 2 billion cars and trucks in the existing fleet. New vehicle production is about 5% of the fleet size, so about 100 million. So even to the point at which all cars are autonomous, it'll still take 20 years to replace all the cars, assuming that the number of cars and trucks in the fleet stays constant. So electric autonomy is absolutely the future, no question. It's just a question of when. I'm extremely confident of achieving full autonomy and releasing it to the Tesla customer base next year. Our statistics already show a massive difference when the car is on autopilot or not on autopilot. If the safety is much greater even with the current autopilot software. The EU regulators are the most conservative. I don't know if people want that to be the case or not. Our customers are sort of unhappy about it. Yeah, but I think at least some jurisdictions will allow full self-driving next year. Well, first of all, I'm actually a big fan of Germany. I love Germany. It's great. I have a lot of friends.
Where do you sleep tonight?
Tonight's in the factory.
In the factory, not in a hotel.
Well, technically in a conference room in the factory, but yeah.
You sleep in a conference room in the not finished factory tonight?
Yeah, it gives me a good feel for what's going on.
Alone, or?
Yeah, I assume so. Well, I mean, humans have been the smartest creature on Earth for a long time, and that is going to change with what's typically called artificial general intelligence. Say, an AI that is smarter than a human in every way. Could even simulate a human. This is something we should be concerned about. I think there should be government oversight of AI developments, especially super advanced AI. It's just, this is anything that is a potential danger to the public. We generally agree that this should have government oversight to ensure that the public safety is taken care of. You know, every time you do a search or add information, you're sort of building this the digital group mind. But yeah, the advent of artificial general intelligence is called the singularity for a reason, because just like a black hole, which is a singularity, it's difficult to predict what will happen. So it's not as though the advent of AGI is necessarily bad, but it's bad as one of the possible outcomes. Digital superintelligence would also be potentially a public safety risk. And so it should be, I think it's very important for regulators to keep an eye on that.
Who should own the data by then?
I think everyone should own their own data. Like, individuals should own their data. Digital superintelligence, I think, has the potential to be more dangerous than a nuclear bomb. So, yeah, we should somebody should be keeping an eye. We can't have the inmates running the asylum here. Tesla is also developing a form of AI with self-driving, but it's a very narrow form of AI. But the rebuttal I get is like, well, you know, China's going to have unfettered AI development, and so if we have regulations and it slows us down, then China will have it. And I'm like, look, from my conversations with government officials in China, they're quite concerned about AI as well, and they, in fact, they're probably more likely to have good oversight than I think. I think we need to watch out about population collapse. This is somewhat counterintuitive to most people. They think that, well, there's so many humans, maybe too many humans, but that's just because they live in a city. Well, I'm trying to set a good example on the kid front.
6 kids.
Yes. In the short to medium term, Neuralink is really just going to help cure brain injuries, and brain and spine injuries. So it's like if somebody is in fact, our first implanted devices in humans will be for quadriplegics, tetraplegics, allowing them to control a computer or a phone just using their mind. The party where ended up wrestling with the world champion sumo wrestler, which, by the way, also caused me to burst a disc in my neck. So, 5 minutes of glory for 5 years of pain. That really hurt. So that party was Victorian Japanese steampunk. So that was cool.
You recognize it?
Yeah, don't doubt your vibe. B, because it's true. B, because it's you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to...
Well, actually, I just woke up one morning and I was singing the lyrics. They're not very complicated. And my girlfriend Grimes recorded it on her phone.
Yeah.
And she said, "This is great. We should make a song out of this."
Yeah.
And so then we called our friend Mike, who is a great producer, and we went to the studio, to the Muppet studio, Jim Henson studio.
Yeah.
And we made the song.
Yeah.
And then I created a fake record label called Emoji Records.
Like, you created it
Emoji.
within a minute, yeah.
Like emo gangsta, something like that. And on SoundCloud, and then I uploaded it to SoundCloud. And that's how it went.
Did you ever doubt your vibe?
Yeah.
Really? When
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah. December 2nd, I don't know, 92.
Can we expect more? Can we expect more? It's very promising, I mean.
Well, I do think that it would be kind of fun to do a cover of Barbie Girl by Aqua. You know that song?
Barbie girl?
Barbie girl, yeah.
Viagra?
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
World, I'm out on
It's-
the plastic. It's fantastic.
You know
It's
it. But I think it would be fun to do a cover of Barbie Girl, but Cyber Girl.
I'm a cyber girl.
Yeah, in a cyber world.
Cyber world. Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this. This is really fun and wow, great production value. This is. I feel like I'm on like a cool Disney ride or something. But I do want to just say to acknowledge the great people at Tesla and SpaceX, Neuralink, Boring Company. Really, I accept this award on your behalf for all the great things that you've done. So. Super appreciated, but I really want to acknowledge very strongly the people at the companies who made it happen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Elon Musk.